the map.
Good old Sorvakai. Goodbye, Delta Bay.
What a city.
So imagine after your dock at the Ashen station. Yeah.
So is it correct that this guy called Andy the Surfer Samurai?
No, that's my nickname for him.
I just need to be certain.
That is Andy Dingmeister.
Oh,
That's Dingmeister.
Dingmeister. That. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dagger away for Dingmeister. Yeah.
I understand why he would have chosen a different.
Again, raised by dwarves.
Well, what kind of raised are we talking here? Right. All right. So, I assume that we would be going to the guy who's the head of the secret cabal. I forgot his name.
Lord Tristan.
Lord Tristan, yeah. To tell him that we have completed the. Wasn't he the?
He's one of the executive officers within the cabal.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that we'll go to him to sort of inform him that we have liberated Delta Bay.
And Sister Nix.
Actually, Sister Nix is nowhere to be found currently. You're told by Tristan that she's currently busy working on something else. It might be related to you. He doesn't really know. He hasn't been informed yet. But yeah, that's good to hear. I'll be certain to put any information forward to the cabal, and if we've learned anything new that might prove valuable to you, I'll be sure to send message to you.
Good. Now we just need to collect coin.
Yes, and you head off to the Celestial Seat, the Imperial Palace, where you are, of course, met by Pennybrook, your liaison.
Oh yeah, that's
Pennybrook.
And he says, tells you, well, it's good to see you, sirs and ladies. I've heard you have done quite astonishing feats.
And more.
Please tell me all about it. And you do.
I don't. Just like.
And he tells you then, of course, allow me to tell you what you are being rewarded. I have gone over with my superiors and the Empress herself. First and foremost, for preparing Delta Bay for the arrival of the Draconian Navy, of course you'll get 25,000 gold pieces as per your arrangement. An additional 25,000 gold for liberating Delta Bay, which was beyond our expectation. Then on top of that, you get a 5,000 gold piece for slaying Duke Blanc, and furthermore, due to this thing, you'll get guild funds. And you both like, what guild funds? What the fuck are you talking about? Probably you should talk to Lord Damien Kurowski about this. I know he's in town, he's actually looking for you all.
Damien what now?
Damien Kurowski. He is an NPC that Hounds all met back in Toothspire, so only Jace actually knows him.
Oh shit.
And also the fact that you have uncovered the plan that Caracas is planning to use black dragons to aid in the battle. The Empress has willingly accepted a private audience with you, along with the Prime Realm Protector, Offstar. This will be arranged at night, so if you have anything to do during the day, I suggest you do so, and then return back to the Celestial Seat.
Oh dear.
My plan has fallen into place.
Yeah.
Good. And then...
Okay, what did we actually earn from that?
55,000 gold.
And Pennybrook points you to a new location in town. I just need to find it because I can't recall where I've added it. There it is.
Hounds of War Guild.
We have a guild?
When you arrive, you see Lord Damien Kurowski, this youthful man with black hair that is gelled back. And he's like, Hounds of War, good to see you. Good to see you, Jace. Because that's the only person he actually knows. And then tells you, well, a lot of things have happened during your absence. Please come inside. I'd like you to introduce to your guild.
Okay.
And you get inside.
I guess.
And what you actually meet inside is you get into this large manor where you can see two signs. There's the Hounds of War Guild sign, or rather, that's the official Hounds of War Guild. And there's also another sign which is called Stray's Company, subsidiary company of the Hounds of War Guild. Inside, you are enter what is like a fancy pub where there's like a sign called the Wayward Rover. Standing at the desk, you see a man, probably in his 30s, clean-shaven, nice hair, and you can see him and a sharp mind these crystal beings, is putting up kegs, and you recognize the shaman as Narasu.
Narasu?
Well, I mean,
Well,
it's a strange world.
and you see Lord Damien essentially turns around like, I have been in talk with Lord Esmond Goldscale, previous active member of the Hounds of War, and we decided that was a good time to use our accelerating fame for good use in this conflict. Many people want to become part of your company, or rather join your name. We decided it was best to limit that amount, so we founded a guild with only a few individuals actually able to bear your name, and you have now become guild masters. Of course, there's a lot of other talented people and so forth we thought useful for the war effort, but not necessarily prime material to bear your name, and therefore we have formed the mercenary company, Strays Company, which you also, of course, own. Oh, forgive me, I forgot to introduce. This here is, of course, Narasu. I have been told you have met him before.
Yes.
And that man over there is Roy. How you doing?
Roy.
Oi.
Oh, Roy. Yeah, never heard that before. Like it already.
And what do you do?
Me? Oh, I am simply a benefactor. I own my life, my honor, and of course the fact that you saved my late wife from being haunted by a necromancer. I owned you everything.
That must have been Jace.
And Jace is like, we kind of helped him pass on his way.
Haunted manor thing?
Yeah, can you back in one of the first session, the mayor of Tewkespire was assassinated by a ghost, which turned out to be Lord Damien Krause's late wife, who was controlled by the necromancer Javinia. And since then, he has assisted you on multiple occasions. For instance, he gave you safe haven during your stay in Mabelcon and everything. He also provided money for Evergale, which is the town the House of War own, as well as the airship.
He's been a generous man.
Again, it helps.
Thankful.
Again, it helps to help powerful people. I'm actually busy. So sorry. I was actually moving away from Sorvakai. I'm heading back to Evergale to talk with Lord Esmond further. If you have any questions, be sure to talk to the Vice Chairman, Maxwell Rivers. I believe he's over there, and he points towards an office nearby.
Right.
Take care. I'll talk to you again soon. Again, I'm so sorry for this brief encounter.
You too. Have a safe journey.
Thank you.
I should probably mention that while we walk around Sorvakai, Aurora never uses her real face.
No.
It's always with a head of disguise.
Yeah.
And she puts it back on.
Yeah.
Well, in here.
Yes, and essentially you see...
Real face?
No.
The
fake.
Head of disguise.
And you see Roy, the barkeep, essentially walks over to the office and like... Maxwell, they're here. And you see the door opens, and from within you see a middle-aged man wearing this bright red long jacket and a cowboy hat, a pepper box by his side, a slight limp as he walks, and the classic cowboy... And behind him is a warforge with this ostentatious hat with a long quill.
Good fortune with those guys.
And you see he takes out the quill and starts to write down on a note like, wow, folks, name's Maxwell Rivers, Vice Chairman of the House of War.
Sorry, we are a bit new to having a guild, I think.
Well, welcome in the club. I was used to being a rancher before I joined this old rat town. I guess you have a lot of questions. I certainly had when I first got this position.
Where are our rooms?
Oh, they're around here. And essentially, the building is in two separate main halls, essentially. There is the House of War guilds, where you have your personal rooms, and also guild member rooms are also there, and like a get-together place, a lounge. And then there's the Strays Company, which is just this essentially barrack where all the soldiers are stationed and so forth. And again, he starts to explain it, and he shows you a map of it. I have actually forgotten to print it, but there's like...
We'll live.
Yeah, we also need to get the whole contract out of the way. Now, let me see here. So, essentially, you're now guild masters, which grants you different titles, which gives you very different abilities based on what title you have.
Oh shit!
First,
by the way, before you continue, I love that we have to make.
It's very important. You don't need to make any choices right now.
No. I just mean, I mean, before anyone else can be like, Dips!
As I mentioned before, you've got some guild funds. Guild funds are essentially what I like to call a narrative-based resource. It's not something you can use to buy magic items and so forth. But for instance, if you want to purchase an airship, that's within your limits.
For information?
Yeah. Actually, that's part of the whole mechanic here. It also, for instance, titles and so forth, like things that can move the story along different ways. And there are different levels. 6 is the limit, unless you have a particular guildmaster title. And again, I have some examples here, I will show you later. In terms of actual titles, we have the Commander-in-Chief, who's essentially the leader of the Strays Company.
A military.
Yeah, exactly. What you get, if you pick this title, you get the Intelligence Military skill, which will grant you like proficiency with that skill, meaning for instance, if you make strategical maneuvers, recall military events and so forth, you can use that skill. You also get the Master Tactician, which allows you once per long rest to rearrange initiative orders of allied creatures. Then you have the Executive Conciliator, which is essentially where you can make an imperative summon to a political figure. And then they need to make a save. If they fail, they need to respond to you in some capacity, whether that through messages, meeting you face to face, or whatever that is. Their bonus and so forth depends on how high political title they have. For instance, it's harder to summon the Empress than it is to summon a common lord. Then we have the Master Emptor, essentially the
What? Sorry?
Emptor,
Okay.
which essentially is responsible for buying utilities, gears, and so forth. They get any items, common items they purchase, gain 10% discount.
Nice.
And
Coin, basically.
And they can also increase the chances of when you're using guild funds that they don't waste any money. Again, there's like, for instance, a synergy with some of the other...
An accountant.
There is actually a treasurer later on. Then we have the Record Keeper, where once per long rest you can make an Intelligence, Arcana, a History or Religion skill with advantage. And you're also able to read any written non-magical languages. There's the Master Arcanist, where essentially you get...
Any written language.
Common written languages. So for instance, codes and so forth, you still wouldn't be able to read them unless you understood the code.
No, but I mean...
Yeah, for instance, if you find a text written in Giant, even though you don't have the Giant language proficiency, you can still understand it.
Oh yeah.
The Master Arcanist is essentially responsible for all magical items and so forth, so they get, for instance, a 10% discount on enchanting or crafting magical items, and they can cast Identify as a ritual. Then you have the Pathfinder, which is essentially the lead explorer, where they once per long rest can get advantage on Intelligence Investigation, Wisdom Perception, or Wisdom Survival check. And they also get the Cartographer's skill tools. Again, that's just simple flair. There's the Treasurer, which increased the limit of your guild funds to level 7. And also you can, when you use guild funds to found certain things and so forth, you can do that with an advantage. And finally you have the Spy Master. Some of these were written with particular people in mind. Where you essentially, within the Strays Company, you have different branches. You have the infantry, the cavalry, the artillery, the support, and the operatives. And the operatives are essentially spies and so forth. You have those guys go out and investigate certain things, like we want to know the location of that guy, or we want to know more about this particular event and so forth. Then you can send out, and depending on how poorly I roll, you might learn new valuable things and so forth. So here you got that. That's a lot of reading. And here's just various information about the branches within the Strays Company. And as I said before, you don't need to make any choice right now. And all while that Maxwell talks, you see just the Warforged just... And never once does it dip the quill for ink. Just continue to write pages after pages like... Well, that's about it, I guess. Again, if you have any questions or anything you want to do, just be sure to find me and I'll make sure that it's done in the manner you want it. My main responsibility here would be to run the daily operation of the guild and the company, but anything larger goals and so forth, you're free to do so. Also, the guild funds are open for you to use as you see fit.
Right.
Also, I was supposed to tell you that Sister Nyx essentially works as a spy master within the Strays Company now.
Good.
We thought it was good to have some knowledgeable and familiar faces.
And experienced.
Of course, the whole fact that she's part of Seraph and Cabal might be a bit tricky, but we'll see around that. And you're like, wait, there's no way she was going to tell him that she was part of it, but somehow Maxwell knows that she's part of the Seraph and Cabal.
Who is interviewing these people who are going to work for us?
Well, essentially, we already have done all the preliminary work for you, so you don't need to really worry about them. Also, they are like free agents, essentially. We can ditch them if we want to do so. For now, they are part of us, and as long as it's beneficial for both parties, well, we keep on trucking. Whatever our truck is. So essentially, the guild members are not people you get to meet or anything. But for instance, if you want to retire a character, or if you want to die or something, then we at least have a narrative way of fitting the new character in now.
Right.
So essentially, they are like, whereas the Strays Company are common soldiers, the guild members are the task force. They are the special task force. You can set out to like saying, we want that guy.
Right. So if one were to have a kill list.
Well, it does happen occasionally. I won't lie. It's not really my thing, but I have worked with such people.
You're working for them now.
Yeah, essentially, you just eye each other like, yeah, I know your deal, lady. Alright, actually, we are about to make some choices right now. We have been given 3 assignments right now. We can all take on 2 with our current resources. I don't know if you want to hear about them and then choose which one we should pursue.
It wouldn't hurt.
Well, the first job is that the Clay Coyote tribe back in Cloudsword in Ongar apparently have some trouble. That is down here.
Oh, that's near Frost.
Yeah, it's between Ultrarol and Stanley, which is this Viking-esque nation. It's essentially in this indent valley where this mist always surrounds it. Hence the name Cloudsword. And actually, the Clay Coyote tribe is a callback to a one-shot with Hror Frostfist, if you recall. But he tells you, well, apparently you have this problem with this blue dragon named Docorus, who...
Wasn't that the first one-shot, by the way?
No, you haven't played. You had played a couple of times before. There was another one-shot before that about a whole infiltrating and partying and so forth. Where you
that's what I was thinking about, sorry.
But apparently this Docorus and his lizard folk tribe was causing a lot of trouble. They have some dragon slayers actually within the tribe, but they need all the help they can get. If we assist them, we have been told we will of course get monetary value out of it, but also access to any dragon parts that we desire. And also Docorus, you actually recall the Cloud Thunder Pirates with Captain Gideon Richmond, the women riders that attacked you guys.
Yes.
They were part of the Chorus's gang, essentially. The second assignment were actually put forward by Narasi over there, and apparently they have some trouble protecting the lore reservoir within the Silesian, this extremely elaborate library. There's this beholder, Dryrox the Scholar, who is keen on stealing all the books within.
Did you say a beholder?
That is true. That's totally true. Again, don't worry, we will deal with it.
Don't.
If we do so, we will be able to, of course, get money out of it, but we also, the Guildmaster will also gain access to the library. Finally, we have the last assignment put forward by a certain Professor Carver Cunningham. Apparently, they want to make an excursion to the Shadowfell. Again, all these missions are not something that you actually partake in. This is the guild which will deal with it. Well, we'll get some money out of it, not as much as the other. However, the professor has promised that if we aid him, he will bring back the blueprints for creating these, what was it called? War wagons, I believe.
Don't. Did someone actually? Did anyone tell you what happened when we left that place?
Well, I told about like skeletal figure and a bear out of nowhere.
Quite large.
But again, all these missions are dangerous.
We'll kill that chicken come supper time.
Of course.
Again, we can only take on 2 of these assignments, so you need to pick wisely.
Am I here?
Actually, I'll just roll for it. And as you are discussing this, we see Eos standing inside this small cave where there's these trinkets and baubles already sprayed all across.
Look at this shit. All of its mark.
Yeah. and essentially singing that song, we see this spiky devil, like slightly crooked. You know him as Valax. He's the guy who...
Daddy.
He's the guy who can operate your bracelet that allows you to escape hell. Essentially, you have made a deal because Valax has made an oath that he will never steal, hence where you come in. Because he just tells you, hey, I want that guy's, I don't know, comb. Steal it for me. In return, you are able to be sent back to the material plane. Occasionally, he will pull you back again. But it's like...
Yes, this is excellent, yes. I like it a lot.
And you see, it's just a simple grate. And again, you had to kill 3 guys to get that thing.
Yeah. This is a good use of my
Again, two months has passed since you were flung back into hell, and you're like, and for your other guys, it's been 5 days.
Time fun, having fun.
So, I think the next thing I need is a fork. I always wanted to see a fork. Not like there's a trifork, you know, but just...
Yeah, no, yeah, I get it.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, I forgot the time. Sorry about that. Shit on it.
And you're like, I have to. And he grabs hold.
Shake his hand.
And again, and you just feel these spikes get into your hand, like you start to bleed down, and just on the other hand, it grabs around the bracelet. Og ligesom du ved, jeg ved ikke hvad det hedder på engelsk, men det der, hvor man laver en karklud, hvor man vrider op.
I think it's called the Indian burn.
Yeah. But essentially, it's like that to the stream. That my hands coming up, and then it feels like your whole being is sucked into the bracelet, and you see the vice chairman of the Hounds Guild, Maxwell Rivers. This cowboy is essentially like, yeah, again, I know it's not easy to pay, but.
Well, look who decided to come back from hell.
Hey!
Holy shit!
I'm older now. I've aged.
We all have.
Yeah, no, but I considerably. Look. Little bit. We have white hair, right?
Yeah, lavender.
Like lilac hair.
Yeah.
What?
See this? Grey hair. It's a grey hair.
Again, and you don't realize because he had got a new earring. It's like.
Oh yeah. This is all the rage in hell. Listen, guys, I'm back for good this time.
I'm very sorry, but could you get off me?
Wait,
Yeah, sorry.
As in, you're back and you're going to stay, or back and you're going to do good?
I understand.
You said you're back for good.
Oh, yeah. That one.
Wordplay, like it. And again, without missing a beat, the command at the vice chairman like, so anything you want to pursue, particularly.
Yeah, sure. Should we liberate that town? What was the name of it? It's been a few months for me.
Delta Bay. We did
Delta.
that.
You did
a couple
that?
days ago. Yes. we
Oh, all right. So where's my cut?
did. You didn't do it.
Oh, come on! I did something.
You can, and
I
you
distinctly
didn't do
remember.
anything, and then you just see your bag of holding like by his side.
Oh, come on! You know how much money I spent in hell? None, because souls are the currency. But still, theoretically.
No, I figure you couldn't even sell yours because it's so cheap.
Oh no.
Would you roll me a D100? Yes.
Those happen often.
How much is your soul worth?
Oh, 84.
Well, during your stint in hell, you befriended this horse-like creature.
Horse-like creature?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And you recognized it. It was the previous steed of Commander Maro, now currently owned by a certain sister of yours. It's the steed Hyson.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's your horse. And I'm friends with it now in hell.
Yeah.
I'm hell friends with it.
No, hell friends with
We
my
have a
hell
special bond.
You have earned the title of Hell Rider during your 2-month stint.
Alright, okay, so apparently it's mine now, I guess.
No.
No, it's
Alright,
mine.
weird.
You're not getting it.
What was the name?
Hyson. H-A-I-S-U-N.
Alright, we have, we really had time to sort of connect and get to know each other. You know? So yeah.
You can borrow it sometimes, I don't use it that often.
Okay.
So...
Anyway, sorry for the interruption. Sorry, go back to your thing. Let's go.
We have a guild now, brother.
Oh, hey, wow, nice. Weren't we a guild before? Was it a fish now? I thought we were... Wasn't the Hounds of Aurora guild?
You have been in an
We
adventure
have a
group,
guild
but...
now.
We had a brand.
Yeah.
That would be...
Okay, cool.
And I might if I want, I might add.
Well,
I'm fine from now on.
we got paid. Davree, do you want to do stuff with the gold?
Do stuff with the gold?
Seeing as you're the... I don't know, what are you? Treasurer?
I don't know why I'm the treasurer.
Do you want to be the commander-in-chief?
No, you just you know.
The moral
We need
compass
to
of the group?
put yes.
Oh.
That's a command. That would be the commander-in-chief, right?
Probably yes.
Essentially, the commander-in-chief would be the leader of the Strays Company, which is this mercenary company.
So how much did we get? You say 5,500?
55,000 gold pieces.
55,000. Oh, yes.
For the group.
Like a buttload.
But we now have a group of beyond the crew of our ship. I know there's a lot of questions here. But beyond the crew of our ship, we also have a mercenary company under our purview.
And they essentially run by itself.
And what is the number there? 10 guys?
We are talking about between 200 to 300 guys.
300 guys? 200? Okay, then why don't we lend them to the war effort at a discount price?
That's actually the whole purpose of the mercenary company. Maxwell Rivers tells you.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Essentially, because there was a lot of people who wanted to join your brand, particularly, but they were like, no, we're only going to take the best of the best, and then the rest can work in a subsidiary.
If you don't have class levels, don't get anywhere near us.
Well, they might have class levels, but it's within 3 max.
Now, do all these people, have you generated 300 names?
No, I've generated for the top officers.
I've seen.
No, I've
seen. You've made 300 people.
No, 13.
13?
Again, you're probably going to make 2 of them, but I have generated 13.
Less, sorry, fewer.
Yeah.
But all of them, all the Strays Company members have essentially nicknames rather than proper names.
Like the Unsullied. We call them like Grey Worm and Shitface.
Yeah, but again, for instance, the lieutenant who's the highest ranking member beneath the commander-in-chief would be Piper, for instance, because he smokes a pipe. All interaction with the Strays Company would probably be with him, rather than anyone else.
Okay.
We will not be using administration. Just gonna let it run itself.
Yeah, and that's
See how it goes.
That's totally fine.
But surely if we're not sort of making a big profit of it, if we're not war profiteering,
We're just lending our
Well,
company.
that's actually up to you.
I mean, there's always a profit to be made on war. But I feel like we have already made a vast sums of money off this war. And it's sort of brought us to this position. And I feel like my stint in hell has really sort of given me a different sort of perspective on all these things. And I feel like we should, I mean, not free of charge, obviously, but I think we should lend the Strays Company to the Empire just for the cost is just the operating cost. They're just their wages. We're not making a cent. As long as we can cover administrative costs.
And taxes.
Yeah, certainly. That would probably be a job for the treasurer or something like that, I imagine.
That's me.
Are you the treasurer?
Yeah.
Alright.
Send my
How about you, Davree?
I would like to roll to find out what the hell Eos' angle is on this thing.
Well, if you roll well enough, you'll tell me.
I never thought my head is. I agree with Eos.
Why? That's not really.
Wow, where did health freeze over while you were there by
yeah,
any
actually,
chance?
I wasn't stickier for a while.
Oh,
I know
really?
But yeah, I suppose we should. I mean, if we 300 trained soldiers will definitely help in more effort. I think they're probably more useful carrying out specialty missions rather than just throwing them at the front lines.
Oh, whatever works.
Well, whatever works with everyone, I suggest we send some to help the Cloud Tribe with the Blue Dragon, and some to go help the Reservoir and kill that beholder.
Reservoir.
Okay, so just so I get it
Can I
on
say-
paper here.
I think you should be the commander-in-chief of the Strays Company. I think you'd be incredibly suited for that
Read
role.
it.
You have compassion for these nameless NPCs.
So Slay Dragon
and I can very
Library.
much compassion for the ones who do have names. I think you would be brilliant at that. Making the decision ultimately yours. You get to decide what the missions would be and how to...
And you can make sure that everything is done in the good name of the Hounds of War.
And in game, you can change the initiative order.
Also
of our
that.
creatures.
Yeah. If everyone's in agreement with this, then I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, we're a majority vote, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Very well. And essentially, you'll hand over a contract like Father Abraham Paducah from the Church of the Eye of the Chance of
Oh, no. I write my full name and title.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is your full name and title?
It's a gnomish, so it just kind of keeps on going.
Yeah. And again, essentially, I
There's
forgot.
at least three.
Yeah.
So.
Essentially, behind Maxwell Rivers is this Warforged who is, throughout the whole ordeal here, just continually written with a quill that never needs to drip the ink. Just continue. And essentially, he grants you. And you're like, oh my god, I don't need to drip. This is the first time wow! It just keeps on.
Does that kind of some kind of like spherical point?
Yeah.
On the pen. Okay.
Is it?
It's interesting. Yeah.
And then at the end is the
Ballpoint quill.
There is something like a sphere-tipped sphere-tipped quill. Yeah, there is.
Yep. A squill, as we call it.
Squeal. Well, good.
So come on.
We are also invited to the Empress again for a private audience.
Oh, we need to have you dressed up then. We need to have you in the Fire Regalia. We can gather this
You mean
morning.
like this?
Did you have it like under your clothes?
Of course I did.
So you have the peacock dress, or
No. We're the same thing to another party.
oh
That's
that was why I was so confused.
Yeah, no. This is another piece that I made myself. Actually, no, I didn't make it myself. I had someone make it.
Yeah.
I'm not a seamstress. I'm very dramatic. Yeah, no, it's like a fine tailored suit now.
Yeah.
With like the lining of it is kind of shimmering, like you catch the light almost, but kind of changes colors a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it a glittery tuxedo?
A peacock, like
No, it is
shift.
It's a glittery
It's a
tuxedo.
glittery tuxedo, yeah.
Wow, that's something.
So cool.
But we still need to find dresses and so forth for the rest of you.
I need to go
I'll
out
just
to
say
supply
something
something.
I still have the thing I wore to the last party.
And in the distance we hear Julian, the owner of Lord Bannon's Choice, just sensing to serve in the force.
And what is the night? I just heard the voice of a million people cry.
At once. And then with one. Silent.
A fashionista dies on the street for no apparent reason.
So sorry. I know I wasn't really listening at the beginning, and that was because I was confused. What are the things that we could be doing? So we've been invited to a private audience with the Queen. Obviously, we do that. Is that this evening?
Yes.
What time is
It's midday.
it? What's the date? Oh, I'm just kidding.
I can't recall the date.
No, just kidding.
It's about to become summer, so it's close to New Year's in Trine War.
Yay!
Cool. Is this Queen's New Year's Eve bash?
No, this is a private audience.
Thanking us for our
service.
More effort.
Thanks for not cocking it up, guys.
Okay. And what is the location of the air nomad at this point in time? Where are we?
We are Sorvakai.
Sorvakai.
Yeah, no idea.
How did we come back?
We sailed back.
You sail
We
with
took an
that.
executive decision
Yeah.
to go back to Sorvakai
Oh, cool.
and get our money.
By the way, we also made an executive decision that you said some nice words at Sorrow's funeral.
Oh yes, of course.
Who's funeral?
A monk.
Did I end
A
up?
lot of people dying.
I don't think so.
Alright. I'm sorry about that. And is the air nomad docked here at this point?
Yeah, it's in at the last station.
Cool. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, sure.
Shake it off.
Shake it up. Literal hell dust. So shake it up. Oh yeah, maybe need a bath.
And
Weak.
already at that moment, the barkeep has already placed down the bucket and stuff. So.
Seems passive.
Well, I need new clothing.
I just prestidigitate it. I forgot I had magic powers. Keep on doing that.
Well, you had in a pinch.
I just prestidigitate myself clean. Jesus. Whatever that is.
That janitor is going to get fired. He's not going to be able to provide for his family.
It's like a cantrip, dude. It's easy to learn. Just have to go to school for about 20 years.
Or take a feat.
Take a feat.
Just have to go to Hogwarts. And yeah, take a feat. Take a feat.
It's easily done.
Yeah. So you're gonna find Lord Bennon's choice, which is the prime clothing store in town, or?
Yes. I want something expensive.
And
Oh yeah, we should probably get some gold first. Like, who wants some gold?
You'll get 50.
I'm always sorry.
well, if you're handing out, you have late station.
What was our decision in terms of what was going to be sort of?
We will give our crew some money. We will put more money into the ship itself.
Okay.
Perhaps Davree, you need something for your Anastasia.
I'll use my own money for Anastasia.
I love the specific numbers that we're getting on the table here.
But if we're 55,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't you do the treasure?
No.
What if we put 5,000 to the ship, 10,000 to the crew? That means 40,000 split around among the eight of us, 5,000 each
10,000 for the crew.
Yeah.
among the crew.
I would have switched those two around. I would have invested 10,000 in the ship, 5,000 to the crew. I mean, how many people on the crew nowadays?
I believe it's like, is it 12 or something like that? I can't recall.
Yeah. Let's say they are 12. Then they get 416 gold each.
If you're doing 5,000.
2, 3,
And
Yeah.
you can live on a modest, is like a kind of a silver a day or something.
12.
Modest lifestyle. I'm saying 460 gold pieces is a vast.
Actually, 20 in total.
20 people.
In-
And that's easy to
Yeah, that's
calculate.
that's 250
That's 250.
piece.
Yeah. I think that's good.
But then what would we, because we always just say, not always, but we have previously said we'll just put some money into the ship. What does that mean?
Repairs. We need to weaponize the air nomad.
Does anyone know how much money or how much we have for the air nomad right now?
I do have it in my notebook, but I brought my grammar notes instead. I think we have 16,000.
Yeah, I think
That's
the
a
ship.
vast amount of money.
So if we put another 10,000 in, what I would recommend we do is we increase the speed of the air nomad, and if anything, we should look into things that can help us move undetected.
Install nitrous or something?
Yeah.
That motherfucker?
Yeah.
Like cloaking device.
Cloaking.
Yeah, something that
Yeah, maybe.
Talk to Riley about that.
Also, you talked about some dragons, right? Maybe you want to improve like resistance to acid damage. Seems pretty good.
Acid damage.
Well, black dragons, right?
Are we going to run into black dragons? Are they going to be black?
Yes.
Because the scales are black.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry,
I thought
native Deltarian dragons.
No, the Black Dragons, that is the Caracas army, you know, the ones who fighting, they are recruiting Black Dragons.
Okay.
Oh, that's right, good dragon.
That makes sense. No, but does acid burn through wood? Is it made of wood?
Well, wood and metal, yeah.
I feel like those things that acid tends to go through. There's 8 of us.
I'm thinking long term. I mean, enchanting. Okay, I know a bit about. I'm not an enchanter, but I know stuff about magic a little bit.
Jace.
What are we
plus,
enchanting something as big as magic would be fascinating.
Yeah.
Ian's getting money too?
Like what? Like just putting one effect on the ship, like something like an acid resistance, acid resisting the entire ship. What would that would?
He can get money if he gets back.
For the size of the ship, right? I mean,
What is he here?
Jens.
and also having it done in a proper sort of amount of time.
I'm gonna say 16,000.
16,000, and how long do we think it would be?
Again, it will probably take at least a week.
Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we get it cheaper if we did it slower?
Yeah.
Okay. It's worth considering.
Then make it 42 instead. Only put 8 into the ship, and as you split up, then it's 7,000 apiece. Or 6,000 apiece.
Kunne du i skibet?
So 8,000 in the ship, 5,000 to the crew. That leaves 42,000 amongst the Hounds of War for not counting Ian.
Yeah.
Well, these.
That puts us at 6,000 apiece.
7.
No, sorry, 7,000 apiece. Yeah.
Yes.
5 golden rings.
That's not many.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. I am rich again.
So we all get 7,000.
That agreed on?
Yes.
Alright.
Do you know how much money that is?
Yes.
It's like 7,000 gold.
Like, so many.
It's enough to buy like 700 platinum pieces.
Yeah, what do you say? Like a farmer earns a gold piece a month or something like that. Again,
So we're the greatest farmers in the world.
Again, if you decide to say,
well,
fuck this, I'm going to become a farmer.
I feel like that's fair because we do work 7,000 times harder than a farmer does.
Yeah.
So
They're farming crops. We're
I love that you just popped in from hell to tell us all that we work harder than a farmer.
hey, listen, in hell, trickle-down economics are big. They're real big down there. Oh yeah, they love that shit. It's huge.
Why are you doing that with your finger? Yes. What do you need?
The item book.
Shadows of
Okay, because I was just talking to God and
Yes, God.
no, I was just because enchanting prices are very, very, very expensive. So we could only probably afford an enchantment. So we really have to carefully consider what that would be
For the ship?
Yes. Now, obviously, if we're going up against black dragons, acid resistance would make a lot of sense. However, a full-size black dragon will just
smash our ship into pieces.
I feel like that. Yeah.
I think.
And also, it's so specific. We'll never run into anything that will breathe acid at us again. We have to specialize in killing black dragons, which is fine.
I think a cloaking device would be better.
Something to avoid your detect or something will just move quicker than whatever's chasing us.
I mean, I would maybe think. I would maybe thinking more non-detection of some kind. I mean, as magic to ward ourselves from scrying and because.
You were told that the aerial space around Caracas is quite hard guarded, heavily guarded.
So to shit. But as soon as we leave this area,
we could never outfly a dragon with a ship.
No. But
actually,
I could never.
Actually, the Skynomad could probably do so.
But the point is that the skies are very vast. So so if we're being hunted, they'd have to use magic to find us. And unless we're really unlucky. Traditionally, I assume that an army would have access to spellcasters who can scry.
But maybe we could do something like that airship where they kept Shelby. That was hidden.
Yeah,
and I couldn't scry into that.
What?
Do you
That
have?
was invisible.
I know. I know from on spot right now. But do you have a recast to what a speed enhancement would be versus a cloaking enhancement?
It depends on how you. What are we talking about speed? Right now, you could probably move 200 feet without dashing.
Oh, congratulations!
In terms of combat.
Yeah.
For instance,
how does that match to speed?
Again, vastly superior. For instance, flying from Delta Bay to Sorvakai, that took you about 4 days.
Okay. Great.
Again, for driving that distance, I don't even know how much because miles will that would probably take 2-3 weeks.
So the long and the short right now is that we are faster than any, or than just about any natural.
When you gain speed, yes, then you're faster than most creatures in Doraken. It's the problem with the whole accelerating that is probably the issue.
Okay, so it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to do having a speed boost would more be a narrative effect rather than a
Exactly.
Then I think
there is another thing we could upgrade. I mean, I think that the most dangerous thing that has happened to us on board the Sky Nomad so far was boarders. People boarding the ship, fighting us on the ship. Not so much other ships shooting at us.
I agree with you in the sense that if we're up against the Black Dragon, if we are resistant to acid damage or whatever, it doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference because we're still up against the Black Dragon. So I think we should hedge our bets on either not getting voided or dealing with something else. That I think is good.
Something else you can reconsider the side of putting on more weaponry on board the airship, or maybe purchase a secondary airship.
I think we need more airships. I think we already have trouble protecting the one that we have. Obviously, if we have the resources to buy a second airship for the strays, if they would need that, some sort of transportation. Though I don't know what the size of an airship that can carry 300 people would be the size of. For some fleet.
Again, that would be more akin to what would that be? A Zeppelin class rather than an asteroid class, which you have, which is about 25 to 50 passengers in total.
Do we need a bigger airship?
Warforged, some golems.
Golems are really fucking crazy.
That's 50,000 for the cheapest one, I believe, something like that.
They're in there somewhere. There might be golems, lots of eyes of golems.
Manual or something like that.
Manual of golem creation. Okay. Listen, so there's some sort of things that I can do magically that could ward the ship. So from borders, for example, I can just create traps on the side of the ship that'll explode, for example, if someone touches them. And that I can do. That's easy. That's relatively cheap. Done and done.
Also, haven't you come up with some countermeasure, Davree?
I don't.
Or is that too soon?
It's still under.
Okay, I
don't
didn't know.
Ready yet. But
well,
can you ever cast at least 2 spell spells?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's all of us.
But you guys have 6 spell spells, right?
Yeah.
So
Don't you?
No.
No, he has a couple
I'm
of
2
those.
levels behind you.
Oh no!
er det okay, hvis jeg kigger på Gorms eller Monster Manual? Eller er det...
Yeah, again. Again, you have access to a guild and a library and so forth. Yeah, certainly.
Alright guys, I'll write everything about every single thing on my face.
And then Jace is gonna aid you because he is essentially your law finder.
That's one thing I just love looking for monster manuals. They're so much, so cool.
It's a monster manual.
The manual, the monster manual.
Again, there's a reason why I suddenly came up with the whole idea that there's a mind trick station pulled by bullets. Because I just went, which monster can I include in this town? Oh.
Oh.
So we're not doing flesh golems because that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Stone?
Calibrite can probably help with that, by the way.
Oh god, no.
Good. So you said we have 16,000 for the ship right now.
Approximately. I don't have the exact
Yeah,
number.
well, again, I'm gonna say it's fine.
Approximately 16.
Plus
So-
the 8 now, so it's
22.
Yeah.
Oh, so 32.
Yeah, so 32.
No.
No.
22.
28.
24, right?
29.
What's the same number?
7.
No.
24. 24. 16 plus 8 is 24.
Yeah.
Maths.
5 golden rings.
Okay. So we got 24,000.
So you're almost halfway to purchase.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
However, I'm gonna say you can use your guild funds.
Pair of golden legs.
No, but I was just thinking like, okay, I don't know about you guys, and I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just throwing the idea out there. I do not need 7,000 gold.
Oh.
And if everyone gives up their 7,000 gold, we can actually get so far as.
Blake's like, I really want that we purchase some crystals or gems or whatever you need now to raise us from the dead because
We need that.
We just avoid not.
I have some points that I'd like to make regarding this golem idea.
Just go.
I hear you. Yeah. We could buy a very powerful golem if we collected our funds together instead, right? Yes. Okay. I would like to make 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Uno, the best defense of the airship, the Nomad, is us, by far.
Yeah.
We would always be the most versatile and the most able to deal with different threats should we run into them.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, golems can't fly. Boy, can't they fly! And if it should fall off the ship, that's it. That's the entire investment out of the.
The war was still like.
And that would make me very worried. Also, there'd be a question of control. Obviously, we would have control over it, I assume. I can see how it's appealing to just set an automated guy. Say this guy's job is to defend the ship. But I don't know how effective an iron golem or a golem would be on top of a ship if it's fighting a dragon that can fly.
Yeah. I totally get
That is a fair point.
I would be worried that it would just be a giant target, and it's probably incredibly expensive to repair.
Alternative. I don't want to say Warforged because I think we're talking about slavery. But
See, the script is like.
But surely, if
We just
it's
hire more people.
people to defend the ship, we could just use some of the
That's
mercenaries.
true. I think the point is that the ship is well defended. If we are attacked on the ship, we're okay. I think. I mean, obviously a dragon would be maybe able to sink it, but then we deal with that problem when we get there. And a golem wouldn't help with that if suddenly it got blown out of the air. If it just suddenly started sinking.
Crashing.
I think it would be far wiser to invest in some form of either hiding, like invisibility, or I would argue wards against scrying.
And yes, also we have to consider the fact they talked about 6 or 8 dragons would transport to Caracas. We might not be only fighting one dragon.
I think we have far more great advantage if they don't see us at all, or at least can't find us.
Dragons can see invisibility.
Can they?
They have blind sight.
Blind sight, but that's within a range. That's not forever.
That's like 30
I
feet.
can't remember. Which one's the really good one? Is it Blindside or
That's true sight. True sight.
True
is
sight.
really good.
Yeah.
That's everything.
That's invisibility,
That's
increased in the field. Yeah.
Ghosts.
Is Blind Sense a thing that's game as well?
Yeah, blind sight, where you can sense creatures within.
And then tremor sense is the one that they don't have.
Yeah.
That's something.
Down a couple of brands actually have tremor sense,
They
white
wouldn't be able
brands.
to use that.
No, not in the air.
Wouldn't help
No.
them at all. Unless they can sense tremors in the air.
Airwaves.
Tremors. Okay. But there is magic that could protect against
Scrying.
scrying. Spells like non-detection do that. I don't have it. And also, it's a 10 by 10 foot area, but would there be some sort of Uber version that we could buy?
Yeah, I would say so.
So that would stop anyone from scrying on us, I mean, any kind of magical spying. It would probably also stop sending spells from getting in, I would guess. I'd have to double check that.
You mentioned though, no. I don't think so. Because unless it's specified, like divination magic cannot.
Yes. You hide a target that you touch from divination magic.
Okay.
The target can be willing region. The target can be targeted by any divination magic received through magical scrying senses. Right. So we would still be able to see us, as in you could be flying and then you could see us.
Yeah, but
if
not by
they-
magical means.
No magical means would help them in detecting us. And then we could have invisibility beyond that, theoretically, which would make us very hard to locate. Obviously, things that can see through invisibility would still be able to find us, but that's not bad. Or maybe actually better than that, and probably cheaper, would be a permanent illusion that just created a cloud around the ship. Or maybe a cloud you could turn on and off. That would be clever. Is that a druid thing? You know clouds. That's racist.
Yes, I speak cloud.
My great
Something
uncle
like
was
hallucinatory terrain. What is that?
Oh. Mine was a squall.
You make natural terrain in a 150-foot cube in range look, sound, and smell like some sort of other sort of natural terrain. Would you say the air was terrain?
Yeah, I would say so.
So, not enough button for hallucinatory terrain on our ship.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so you have... I'm sorry to be... I'm not going through your magic, but you have a spell called Hallucinatory Terrain, 4th level illusion. It takes 10 minutes to cast, so we'd have to sort of prepare for it, but then it lasts for 24 hours. The only question is obviously...
But does it move along with...
No, it probably wouldn't. Alright,
I can check that.
I don't think it does. It's an area. But then the world spins. Oh, so actually, I also have access to it, theoretically. But then any kind of major illusion would be able to...
Well,
wouldn't it?
obviously, if we want it on the ship, it should just be some sort of effect that does the same, but just for the ship rather than a spell we cast.
Say that again.
I mean, if we want it for the ship only, it should just be some sort of enchantment on the ship
That
makes the same effect
Yeah.
on the ship rather than a spell we
But that
cast.
could take time
Yes.
That is true.
and money. I'm just thinking, what could we do, sort of in an immediate sense that I can't really see anything that makes a vast amount of sense. Sorry, creature. I think maybe I'm thinking of a spell that's in the other fucking book.
But what about more weapons
Yes,
for the ship
I
itself?
think that makes perfect sense.
Because right now you have what I believe it's two ballistas and one cannon.
Yeah, that's not.
How about
That
more
would be a
weapons and
much better idea.
maybe some specialized weapons that could
Something
deal
for dragons.
magic
Dragons,
damage?
Yeah, you can.
Dragon-
Dragon Bane ballista or something like that.
What would that be?
Well,
Is there magic that targets dragons?
no, but it would be magic weapons.
For instance, there are arrows of slaying. You can easily make that for a ballista instead.
Or magically
That would just
enchanted
cost a
weapons
lot.
Yep.
A lot.
Again, this is the kind of thing that you like don't miss. Then it's a good thing you have a ranger on your side now.
That is true.
But we can pay a ranger.
Eek. Oops. I don't think
Again,
it's
you don't need to tell them that they got money. No, we help you for the good of it.
But we helped him save his town. so
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I get a necklace
didn't
of
pay
pure
me
diamonds.
others.
He gets a
Why is
home.
there 30th level spells on this list? That makes no sense. Sorry, I'm just thinking, isn't there... I thought there was a sort of a big spell, sort of a big illusion spell.
Again, there's seeming, which
That's me. Doesn't that just turn me invisible and create an illusionary double or something?
No,
Well,
seeming that's when you cast.
that's the one Jace
something
used to
seeming.
transport the whole rebel force during the rain. Didn't Jace use it to? You can
Yeah.
affect creatures within 30 feet or something
Oh,
like that.
yes, you turned... Yeah, that's true.
You can tell him
I was
to look
thinking
into what.
And again, you could. I would say you can find some alteration that will affect the airship instead.
Yeah.
Again, whatever you want to accomplish is doable.
Alright, so it's a sort of... work
The only
with it.
problem is time and money,
Yeah.
essentially.
Time and money.
We need to find solutions for our own goddamn problems. Where's the fucking...
And there's a reason why there are spells with people names, is because people can create spells if they want to.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah?
I could theoretically write a spell that does what we wanted to do.
Yeah, so he has a spell of, I don't know, he has a cloud thought.
Ah.
How much time would that take to like make a spell?
Depends on,
The question is
again,
also...
time and money. Anything is doable, almost.
Time and money. Should we maybe just
But again-
calculate on this?
But again, for instance, you have guild funds, which are perfectly valuable resource to use.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
For instance, like say, okay, I don't personally have the time to come up with a new spell. I'll give you the groundworks. You guys find out the rest.
Okay. I hear you. Alright, so what we can immediately do, which makes perfect sense, is to buy some weaponry for the enemy.
Yes, and perhaps something against scrying.
I think those two things would, like, I think sort of a fixed enchantment that stops any kind of divination magic from detecting the ship or from entering the zone of the ship. That would obviously limit our own ability, but maybe that's okay.
No, why would it?
Well, because
it will prevent, for instance, sending spell to penetrate through the bubble, essentially.
theoretically,
Yes.
if it's a zone, that could happen. Because you would then have to, you'd have to sort of bring in a caveat that sort of, we can select which creatures can find us and not find us, but that might be very complicated.
What about just having it cover most of the ship, but have one sort of spot that is outside?
Well, we can like exclude sending.
You could also could you do that?
Yeah, probably.
I think it makes a lot of sense. For example, there's a crow's nest, right?
Yeah.
So if we just,
Or you could,
If anyone wanted to scry
You
on
make-
the ship, they would hardly pick the crow.
or you could have some sort of countermeasure,
Yeah, that's true.
like saying, for instance, when we activate this crystal, it creates this
But we
effect.
might not know necessarily. When we're
No,
gonna
that's
strike
true.
them. We might not know that at all. But they don't, if they were trying to find the ship, you
But
could.
they'd have to know the ship.
They'd have to know of the ship, or they could know someone aboard it.
Yeah.
But if
So it
those
makes sense.
people-
It makes
if-
sense to have one area where we just don't go unless we have to.
Yeah, because if anyone is on board it and they're trying to scry, they wouldn't be able to if they're within this sphere, I guess.
Presumably not. But then we could just, if we just have the crow's nest, for example, free, then you just send them up there and they can scry from up there or somewhere
Yeah,
else.
because you have essentially a radio guy who's like, nope, still nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's a good solution.
Yeah.
But obviously, that would make. Obviously, if someone had to get a hold of us, they would only be able to do it when we were incidentally in the process. But then you could, on trips, you could, for example, select one person
Yeah, but again, you have
Say,
enough crew
during-
members to
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
during 1 hour of the day. Spend time in the. Then you could be fine. Ooh, this is complicated. There's a lot of sort of areas here that could be problematic. Could you be an enchantment that you could turn it on off?
yeah,
So you would go quiet for periods
yeah,
of time?
again, cloaking, essentially.
Like a submarine? Turn off all the radar.
XCOM.
Is that how that works?
Well, not the radar, but I mean, sure you can turn off stuff.
Like we go sort of untriable.
Rig for silent running?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is...
For periods of time when we feel like we might need it.
That's advanced stuff, though.
Then maybe invisibility would be better. More direct.
Or...
But could something magically keep not only the ship but also everything aboard the ship invisible?
Yeah, I would
Maybe
say
a
so.
cloud illusion would then actually be an even better solution.
If that is too expensive, because we don't know what it would cost, but if that is too expensive, we could also go in the other way and enhance the ship's optics, the way we spot something before it comes to us, because as we've established, the ship is very fast.
Yeah.
So we would be able to make a decision before we get into combat, whether or not we want to fight or flight,
Yeah.
so to speak.
But then I think, actually, I'm sort of thinking about it now. I think sort of a spell that creates an illusory cloud around the ship, just camouflage, essentially just camouflage. Forget the scrying thing because I think that's going to be too complicated. And I think if people
And even though if they know you are that, they still have to spot you.
exactly, I think actually that would be the best sort of possible a cloud that you can turn on and off. Because obviously, if we're in the cloud, it would be hard for us to see out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Unless we have something.
Well, you do have the. You have the. What is it? The keycard that Jace has, which grants you true sight.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect then.
Or no, actually, see invisibility.
I think I actually see invisibility. That doesn't really help us because if we create an invisible cloud,
But that wouldn't matter if we could turn it on and off.
essentially, but we could also. I mean, there wouldn't even have to be an illusion. Theoretically, you could just create a cloud.
Yeah,
It could be an actual cloud.
a smoke machine.
I mean, essentially,
But wouldn't that require components of some sort?
Wouldn't necessarily. I mean, a fog cloud that sort of I mean, I can cast a spell fog cloud. It's quite a common spell. So a large fog cloud that sort of follows with its target wouldn't be unthinkable.
I'm not talking spells. I mean, if we had to create the smoke physically, that would demand us to have some sort of
that burns and creates smoke. Yeah, but that doesn't.
I mean,
smoke goes upwards and up.
I think it should be a magic effect, if anything.
An illusion would make sense.
Yes.
No? That's entirely doable.
Okay. Well,
should we have them look into that?
Seeing as I am apparently, excuse me, I'm the master editor of this guild.
Yeah.
I've signed the contract. And so I will go and arrange this this setup. I will also buy some more weaponry for the ship. How this it's carrying 3 sort of large weapons right now. Do I have an idea of what the maximum would be?
It would probably 2 to 3 more cannons would be the max capacity without decreasing stealth or speed.
Want cannons is the question.
Again, that's just the terms of weight. You can do might be something else like I don't know.
Something more quiet.
I like. We have harpoons, right? We have ballistas.
Yeah, you have
2 harpoons and 1 cannon.
Yeah, incendiary cannon. Yeah.
Flamethrower, like a quick fire thing.
That'd be good, yeah.
Some sort of magical weaponry.
Yeah.
And then just cast like a fireball. That's just it.
Well, surely someone would be able to make a +1 ballista or something.
I think.
Oh wait, the arrows could be magical.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
I mean, we could look at something like the what's it called the arrows of slaying or that thing.
Okay, I'm making a list. A shopping list.
Shopping list.
You are the treasurer.
Nope.
You know what?
Yep, sir.
In terms of ordinary weaponry,
Be the treasurer if you want.
you know that there's the guy owning the boom rods.
Over the.
He will be like the leading expert on cannons and so forth. If you want proper magic weapons, that would be Tempest Steel.
Vores revisor essentially tilbringer ret meget tid i helvede.
Well, I mean, not anymore. I'm sort of on a break from hell.
Alright.
Vacay from hell.
Okay, so.
Okay, er der så et eller andet over, vores revisor er på en ferie fra helvede? I mean, I'm not saying that we're supporting the stereotype, but
So, I have a dumb idea.
So do I.
We get bolts that are basically movable rods.
Like, boom!
No, immovable rods, as in we hit something and 6 of them doing activate the movable rod, and then the thing's stuck.
No, it would just tear through them if they continued flying.
Yeah, if they fortunately continue flying, yeah. But if it's a dragon, in theory, we could pin a dragon in midair.
Well, again, I know the DC is 30, but a dragon, depending on how old it is, also quite strong.
Yeah.
Immovable.
Okay, so the thing is, it can hold up to 8,000 pounds, which I'm certainly more of. But if you hit them with a couple of them, and then you can activate them, it's very easy to slow it down.
I mean, you could create grappling hooks that are movable rods.
Yeah.
Could you?
Innovation.
How much do we think an immovable rod would cost?
They're common, right?
Uncommon.
Well, they range between 100 and 500 gold pieces, depending on how many.
Oh, okay.
Again,
So we get 30 of them.
What?
Just kidding. They presumably don't have that many movable rods.
I mean, I'm just thinking if we have like a couple pieces of specialty, we can pin a dragon. Even just slow it down.
Right. Okay. But first of all, there's obviously there's the thing about the movable rods is a clever name. They're not in fact entirely immovable.
No.
But another thing is that if let's say you shoot a bolt at a dragon and then the bolt becomes immovable. That's true. But wouldn't the dragon? I mean, wouldn't the
dragon could keep moving, but it would then tear the bolt out of itself.
Yes, that is true. But it would probably want to do that anyway. That seems like an advantage. That seems like an advantage for the dragon.
What, tearing a hole itself?
Well, it could. I mean, it's already come in through one hole. Couldn't it just theoretically go out through the same one?
It just back away.
It could theoretically. I mean, if it knows what's happening, it wouldn't necessarily. I appreciate that.
I mean, I'm assuming that...
No, I'm not.
I'm saying the creature's moving, and it starts moving. It would have to know exactly what's happening and then change its course on a split second. Yeah.
Unless it makes a DC and then it's all the same thing, isn't it?
I'm just thinking it would be cool
It's
if...
30, then moving at 30, up to 30 centimeters.
Okay, alright.
So it slows it down a lot.
Can they actually move?
Yeah, the DC 30 strength check, moving the fixed rod of 10
We
feet.
make immovable rod harpoons or whatever they're called, and then we cover them in that magical blue stuff that they can't get.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
we got them. That's when we get them. But then we could actually just drop them.
Your alchemical sleep stuff.
I like the idea though. I really like it. I think it's really good.
You have to shoot with a small hamster that can just...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd have to find some sort of clever way of doing that, obviously.
I mean,
Maybe
okay, I know, if it's too much like fluke thing, then I totally accept that. It does say you push a button. So in theory, all you need to do is rig up some kind of system that pushes the button.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What is that?
Well,
why couldn't the button be on the front of the arrow?
Then on impact.
It could be. You could also have
that is how most impact weapons work.
You could also have, for example, the like a hollow arrow or a hollow bolt with the movable rod inside, and then on impact, the arrow will go in, the movable rod will continue, and it will then touch the button, activating it.
But isn't there then the very real chance that it'll move around inside it and then be touched again?
But then you set up a system where it has like mud hands, so it can't go back again to keep going.
Alright. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
some engineering.
I know where.
Again, as I said before, it's just time and resource, man.
Alright, I'll look into that as well. Immovable bolts. Anything else we would think about would maybe be a good idea?
Just imagine if we misfire with that. It's stuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole.
Right, but there's also that.
Actually, it would just deactivate it.
Well, look, the harpoon wouldn't be tied to the ship, right?
Yeah.
Oh, even though that would be a very good anchor.
Alternatively, if that is too expensive, it would be...
Ja, I know Jens har snakket om at bruge det som langt til stedet.
It would be reasonable, I suppose, to have the ship disguised as a cloud and then have lightning bolts.
Well, that's you.
That's cool. I am
Your lightning
sold.
bolts.
I can't cast lightning bolts.
You can't cast lightning bolts?
Nope.
But you can conjure storms, right?
Again, cold
What
lightning.
kind of druid are you?
No, but that would be... I mean, if we're a clown and you conjure up a storm,
yeah,
then we're G to G.
Oh, yeah, I mean the actual arrows. The actual arrows for the harpoons being lightning.
Like Davree's guy.
Yeah, something like that. You know,
Can we have?
but because I think we wouldn't be manning the harpoons, would we? The crew would be manning the harpoons. So if they have some sort of weapon that does magic damage.
I mean, we could go out.
Okay.
Wait, so we could go out and buy a buttload of javelins of lightning, or see if we can.
That's like that's a lot of resources to just suddenly throw after people.
No, not after people.
Yeah, that's the whole. That's
but you can only use them once.
Use them once per day. But if you buy say 12 of them, that's
why don't we just
max
why don't we just have instead of having this sort of weird diverse crew of people, don't we just exchange them with people who are specifically trained in using weird lightning harpoons and then just have them man and then we don't have to talk to them?
What about all the others?
No, no. They can
What
join
about
the
female Jace? She's
right, the female Jace.
What are you?
But we could hire on. Could we kind of have a select team of say maybe 10 more individuals?
We could train the individuals.
Do you want more NPCs?
No, I don't want them to be. I want to give them helmets that maybe cover their faces, because that's very menacing, and also then you lose all kind of like any kind of identity.
Depersonalization.
And you can see Chairman Michael Ponspetter. Well, we just create some automatons essentially.
What?
Like machines.
Oh, automatons.
Automatons, yeah.
Oh, I don't. That seems soulless and cold.
Oh, you want people you don't know the name of, right?
Yeah, Yes! I
You want people that you can ignore.
I want
Maybe these are down. Okay, but I'll look into an army of automatons. And what are they called? Lightning rods? No, lightning.
Javelin of light. But you did require attunement.
Javelins. Well, we wouldn't have them.
Might.
How much damage do they do? Is it even kind of
3d6 plus
46.
yeah, I mean, okay.
Plus base damage.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But I suppose they shouldn't be used against any target. They should be
No,
when
that's
we
true.
encounter something.
Yeah.
Seagull!
The point. I think this idea. I like the idea of kind of using sort of disguising the attacks themselves. But I think if you see a cloud sort of turning on and then suddenly just bolts of lightning strike out of it, not downwards but sideways, I think the jig is up.
But it wasn't to disguise the cloud. It was just the poetic justice of having a
I like
cloud
that.
firing lightning bolts.
I think we can definitely play with that.
Again, no longer the Skynomad, now just Thunderstorm.
Thunder.
I mean, I have a project for the ship, but that is free, I think.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't have anything else for the list that needs funding.
No.
That's fine. Okay. Let's. I'll take this. I will move on with this. I'll go to the shipwright. Whoever does ship stuff.
Yeah.
I'll take care of this.
Again, that is the, what is it called? Well, it's just Sorvakai Industries. Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this to the Sorvakai Industries, and I also at some point would like to just head by the ship. I need there's a crew member I need to talk to.
Yeah. Well, which?
There's that guy on there. The werewolf guy.
Banrus.
What's his name?
Banrus.
One day. Banrus.
I believe.
Yeah, Bloodhunter werewolf.
Yeah. Alchemist, right? He's the alchemist guy.
That's right. Oh, yeah, you had actually set him to create some potions, right?
Exactly. I feel like the time's up. I need that stuff. I know.
How many can you recall?
No, but I did give him a large.
Yeah.
I gave him more than 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, but you told him both to create some superior healing and greater healing and some healing potions, if I recall.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I did that. Yeah. There's a large investment there.
Mm-hmm. And I gave.
You have written something about healing potions on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the. If that helps you.
That's pretty well. Yep, Banros tells you that he has succeeded. He has created 3 superior healing potions, 6 greater healing, and 9 ordinary healing potions.
Right. Good job, Bonrus. You are a trooper.
Thanks.
Okay. Is there anything you need?
Well, I'll need more funds if you want me to create another batch.
I think we're good for now. I think just
Cool.
stay on the top of things. There's a bonus heading your way, by the way. I mean all of you, but still good job. How many? 3 superior, 6 greater, and 9.
And 9
Yeah,
ordinary.
That's easy to remember. Thank you.
3, 6, 9.
That's pretty good for 1d4, 1d6, and 1d12.
Yes. Nice. Tell about it. Is it weaponry, tools, and crafting?
I take it Naeris that at some point before the meeting with the Empress, you're going to search for diamonds for resurrection and so forth.
Well, actually, not before the meeting because I'm assuming that we'll have more time.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to look at the options for finding a tree and replanting it on the deck of the Sky Nomad.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I can make tree strider possible.
Okay.
Oh, that is a good fucking idea.
Are you going to build it within your cottage, or rather your quarters, or
I think
on board the...
It has to be big enough that we can...
Yeah, exactly. Because I was going to say that...
So I'm going to find somewhere on the deck where it wouldn't be obstructing anything.
Roll a nature check for me.
Right.
Roll well.
Natural 20.
Well, fuck.
Well, what we see is you carefully remove the dirt with your cantrip, your druidcraft. Essentially, we see almost the tree like start to sprout these tentacle legs with its roots, and then we see like the most burly crew members of the airship, like Borm, the Sixosaurus warrior, and Velma, just. And then you have Saadri transform into the silver dragon form, and then hoist it up, and then they start to create this small mini garden, essentially replacing one of the masts with the tree. Yes, Eric.
There's no way of. Oh wait. First off, how many items can be attuned to at once?
3 items.
3. There's no way of changing that.
No, you have succeeded before combining 2 magic items, but that was because one of them wasn't attuned.
Maybe like an obscure feat.
Okay.
No, I know the alchemist, or what it's called.
The
Artificer. Has a
can increase that.
But no, 3 is the limit.
Oh yeah. No, sorry, could have finished.
Cool. No more shopping then. Sorry, anyone interrupt you?
No, I'm done. I mean, I spent the time planting that tree.
You see, Captain Ray gets back from one of her top visits, like looks over, sees there's a tree instead of a mast, like fucking druids.
Do you remember if Anastasia has armor on?
Yeah, she has.
Yes.
Oh, and
Is that magical or non-magical?
Non-magical. Because you already have resistance to ordinary damage.
Okay.
by the way, a quick note: it's not gems that I need because Aurora was healed by the temple guys. They were the one who had the.
Just because they used their own.
But also the reason why I don't need diamonds is because my ritual gives people a new body.
Oh, yeah, that's reincarnate, but Revivify, for instance.
I like
that requires a diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
I'll just look.
Use a fresh one. I throw myself over the ship.
But because it's true, reincarnate, you
res pills. Res pills. Res.
Yeah, because you don't like raise that or anything like that, right?
No, thank God.
That's like ordinary. It's not raised on that.
Well, I mean,
animate that, right?
Oh yeah, animate did that, right? But I don't think I have revivify.
You don't?
I have reincarnate.
Anyone in our group has.
Reincarnate rare ores and unculants worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. So you still need to spend money for it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do need. That's what I said. I need oils for the thing, but it's
That's
not diamonds.
Expensive ass oil, though.
Yeah. But that was why the whole problem arose if I should resurrect the guys from the town.
Yeah.
But no.
That's right. You don't learn Revivify.
No. But the thing is, I paid for the resurrection spell for Aurora.
Yeah.
I think that's why the confusion might be.
Okay. Oh yeah, but Davree can actually cast Revivify if he wants to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Revivify immediately after you die.
Oh shit! I can almost cast Little Spell thing.
Hey.
I mean, if you're not worried about returning as a dwarf or a dragonborn, I can also resurrect people after a couple of days.
Revivify.
Excuse me? That happens? You just know what you're going to come out as?
Right.
You need to roll randomly.
My hang on, I'll just take my resurrection spell is what's it called?
Reincarnate.
And you can return as a dragonborn, a dwarf, the various forms of elves, a gnome, a half-elf, half-orc, halfling, human, and tiefling.
And the gender also.
Oh yeah, the gender is also completely random.
That is fucking perverted.
Yeah, that was one reason why I didn't want to use it on Hannah, if I recall.
Yeah, because we didn't know how she would.
Hello.
You live in nothing?
No, actually, I think the gender remains the same. It's
Okay.
it's just the form, the race,
The
and the
race.
racial traits that changes.
Hey, before you leave, forgotten your name.
Naeris?
Naeris. Oh, sorry, it's been hell's.
It's been months,
It's been
dude.
It's been hell.
Naeris, if you're going out jewel shopping, could you get some jewels for me?
Sure.
I give Naeris his 2,000 gold. And can you buy me rubies for this?
Sure.
Thank you.
It's because you need that value.
Yes, I need 2,000 worth of.
Okay, because then you do still get the 10% discount if you're the
Do
master
I
MC.
always get that?
Yeah, for common items.
Yeah, okay, sure. So I give you, but that's not. I'm not the ones buying them.
No, but again, you have.
All right, I called ahead to the jewel shop, and
I
they
also
gave me.
need 1 diamond.
All right,
Okay,
how much?
also-
Worth how much?
1,000 gold.
All right, I give you. That's 300 off. So I give you 2,700, and I need some rubies, and I need a diamond for this.
And I go fetch that.
Yeah, again,
once
you
I'm
go
done.
Just a second, before you go, just a second, maybe you need more,
The pure Warforged still scribbles like Jesus Christ.
No, it's just the glyph of warding, what does it do? Components. Yes, I give you another. I need powdered diamond, and I give you. I give you 720 gold pieces to buy powdered diamond for.
Right. Which
I called ahead. All this is you just go.
So essentially, you have like this documents like acquisition by the master MC of the Hounds of War Guild.
How much was that?
So you go to the Gems a Dozen.
1,000,
Yeah.
This jewel shop where he has previously tried to fence some stolen goods, and she's like, "Yeah, certainly, here you go."
and then
And then she's like, "Try to avoid getting too far out of public eye. You don't want to get caught with all this.
no, of course.
If you want to, for an additional 500, we can have a bodyguard follow you back home."
I think I can defend
That sounds
myself.
like it.
I think I can defend myself.
Okay, Bobby, go for her.
And then I go to somewhere where I can buy these fancy oils for the
Yeah, it doesn't seem you're being followed.
for my own ritual.
I spent 300.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Do you give me the 1,000?
Yeah.
Then I take the little discount.
You did.
Yeah, no. Give me 900. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that's 3,800 plus minus the.
What about you, Davree?
Gonna buy some shit.
Yeah. What kind of shit?
Magic shit.
Ooh, so you're
Yeah.
magic weapons or magic equipment or what?
Magic equipment, I think. I want to get a circular blasting.
Yeah, that would be at the Exalted Emporium.
Yeah, it's those have things.
What's
Uncommon for that one.
uncommon?
Yeah,
Can I get that
that's
out of
100 to
the
500.
guild? Is there what is that? What is
Yeah,
the guild?
it's not so bad. 150 gold pieces.
Okay.
I don't know. Just
But where,
Remember
who knows how much we have?
What?
Sorry?
Hvem sidder med pengene?
Jamen, jeg har det med min notesbog derhjemme. Jeg var kommet til at tage den forkerte med i dag.
Alright.
Men det er jo det er cirka 16.000. Jeg tror, det er 16.300 eller sådan et eller andet. Men hvad hedder det, jeg kan...
No, but I'll take that. But I'll take that.
how much the one for ivory goats?
But that is the shit.
right.
rare item.
Du tager 720 ned, som kan have taget ud af skibets. Fordi dertil designet.
As it looks at it, it's like,
hvad hedder
and
det?
it's a pair,
for
right?
skibet.
It's 3 set.
Three. Oh right, yeah, there's like
Yeah.
three stores per rose. He's like, well, it's my last in stores, so I probably have to run it by 3,000 gold pieces.
Right. Men du får tallene på
But,
det
I
tidspunkt,
mean,
Yeah.
så du kan køre dit
plus buying
treasury
other
stuff.
shit. Okay, we'll add
Det er også
3,000
du kan køre dit
10% off
treasury
of the
ting lidt bedre.
Yeah.
Am I in the truck? Okay.
Make
Put it in
a
the
persuasion
Yeah,
check.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she did that one.
That's
18.
What you see is while this is like, it's really expensive and it's really rare. You see in the background her orangutan companion, Meadri, start to juggle with them, and then just. Okay, sure, discount.
Great.
Sorry, Dessa.
Put that down.
It's fine, Mary. It's fine.
As what was the last thing I wanted to get? Oh, I wanted to get the a rare item, Mantle of Magical Resistance or Spell Resistance.
But don't you already get that from the fact that you're unknown?
I only get against
Magical effects and spells, as far as I recall.
Do I?
Yeah, you get advantage.
How did I not know that?
Mm-hmm. You have no magic resistance, but you have advantage against magical effects. Like, through the hair
I just thought it was the same thing, but I might be wrong.
Known trait, size, speed, recognition, cunning. Advantage in all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. And that
what
leaves.
does that spell? What does the cloak do?
It's against. Okay, so you have advantage on saving throws against spells while you're wearing this cloak.
Okay, yeah.
And this one.
Okay, so
only really be Constitution Dexterity, which I can probably.
Well,
take.
strength does happen.
Yeah, like
Dexterity is the
wind-based.
most-
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Fireballs and shit, that
Yeah.
will help you there. I mean, but the worst stuff for you would be things targeting
Yeah, those things.
your, it'd be possession and mind control and.
Yeah, and plus it does take a attunement point, so I'm going to
Yeah.
help that.
And Davree, as you're in the shop, Dessa looks over your shoulder like, wait, has he grown? And you have realized that Bubbles,
Yeah.
rather than looking like an infant now, he now looks like a small boy instead.
Okay, good. Is he wearing clothes?
Again, he's gentlest, but no,
Okay.
he's not wearing.
Okay, just want to make sure that we weren't like
I think you should be ashamed.
funds out, mixed out. I should think.
Well, he does have a tail, so
Yeah. Well, front or back tail?
back tail.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that was a bunch.
Oh no.
So, are you back with the stuff, Naeris?
Sure. I mean, I don't have anything else that I need to do, so I assume at some point
Again.
I'll
I
return.
got my diamond.
Still, again, you walk perfectly fine alone through the street. Maybe it's because Rails and Mars is just by your side and nobody's like messed with you.
Yeah.
Well, after I get my diamond, I will go buy my dress for the evening, and then I will go into a jeweler and commission a ring.
Yeah.
A gold ring with the diamond in it, so I will always have it on me.
Not very clever.
Yeah.
How much would
Describe this sad is please do resurrect.
resurrect me?
Break in case of emergency. Again, how large would a diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces be worth?
Well, you can get a very...
How it's cut.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Okay.
Well,
This diamond's
it's
of
20 gold
fucking
pieces.
Can I go
You need the
please to
gym.
fix that?
Or
Yeah. Again, you could pay more, but for better craftsmanship, but I guess it's more
Don't
perks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something is meant to be broken.
And then I need my dress for the evening.
When you enter Lord Bennon's choice, what you see is yourself. You have been told by your brother that this is because Julian Marcel, who owns the shop, is a changeling and who likes to take on the appearance of his
But
clientele.
I am concealed.
Yeah, I mean, he takes on the fake appearance you have.
Yes.
And he's like, so, darling, what do you need today?
I need a dress.
Okay, and he starts to move, and you see actually, you see yourself in the dress. And so he turns around like, anything particular we're looking for? Something naughty, or be more like proper?
Something covering my back.
Covering your back. Oh, so we have a proper party. Very well.
Something covering my back, but low cut in the front.
And again, he starts to pose. And again,
Your finest.
you sense that a bit shorter there, and then you just
Yeah.
and again, it becomes perfect. You're like, it's too bad it's not like really me. Because I don't really know if it will fit me, but
Yeah.
I'm taking a gander.
Yeah. I want it to be red, like the color of my tiefling skin.
Red.
Well, what's the DC of your hat, actually?
The DC on my hair?
The hat has a design.
I will tell you.
Yeah. To see through
I
the...
have all my
I believe it's 14, but I can't recall. Otherwise, I've actually also printed all your magic stuff, you guys.
It doesn't say.
I don't remember.
I don't think
Guys.
we'll have the same. I think there's a standard role for illusion.
Yeah, we can could there should be a pocket somewhere placed on.
Objects.
Ja, vi kan sende en foldemappe, hvad hedder det? Send
Oh, a little plastic folder.
Ja.
Guys.
Det var der din vej, ikke?
Ja.
5.
There should be someone.
Jeg tror måske, det ligger under kortet.
Ja. That could easily be the case.
Ja, tænker jeg også.
Because Franco.
It doesn't say.
I know I have it here. Let's see here. Then you can also get all your magic stuff.
Admin.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna make an executive decision and say that he saw through it. He is a changeling, so it makes sense. It's like, but darling, shouldn't we make it more like fit you proper rather than I'm just guessing here?
Of course.
Okay, so and he's,
Take off my hat.
Hot.
My hat.
why are you hiding something so beautiful, lovely? Let's see here.
It's just for protection.
And again, he starts to refit it slightly. It's very, very faint, and you're like, I can't see any difference.
Yeah.
But he's like, yes, this is how it works. Yep, it actually here. Check against your spell save DC for non-spell cast 8 plus your proficiency bonus.
So 12.
What?
Annihilation.
You want to fire a sphere of annihilation at them?
Yes.
You're a
Oh my
s-
Okay, and you have a problem with undeath and so forth, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
What? Who's dead?
But yeah, here's all your magic stuff.
All that magic stuff.
How are you going to repel it?
Magic, obviously.
Who has a brooch of shielding?
That Blake.
Jeg tænker forresten på,
Ringo Switch.
jeg havde lige tænkt over, nu havde jeg havde Vipers, whatever.
Ja, Viper's Wrath.
Vipers Wrath. Den er attunement.
Ja.
Det synes jeg måske er lidt meget. Lige prøve det.
Again, it's based on the
Naeris? Did you
weapon
have
of
a bonus on that?
poison.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, but I have it here, so...
Okay. Alright, fair enough.
Thanks.
I believe that is a tune. I think
no,
I just took it and
Jamen,
then added.
det var bare, jeg troede, du måske havde skrevet den selv, og så vil jeg bare lige bringe op.
Yeah, I'm hit on. Again, you can easily remove it. It's not featured in.
Do I?
Yeah, you got it from Jace. You didn't give him back.
I love them.
Ah. But they require attunement. So I'm not going to use them.
The boots.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
I think I have both my daggers and my cloak.
My
That's it.
injuries
Yeah.
main.
So I guess the group can have it.
Armor of Spark.
That's established.
Yeah, that's...
Do you mean one S?
Oh yeah, wands are good. I have a good wand. I think most of them are attunement.
Yeah, there are.
There's a few that are.
It's
It's always handy to just have a kind of selection of wands.
I'm a spell slinger.
Who has Swift Step?
That's the rapier you stole from, or acquired
Yeah, I
from
think I took that as
Captain
well.
Gideon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's one I use. Just kidding.
Who took the lightning lash?
that's
But
you.
we gave that to Casimir, didn't we?
No, you didn't. You took it from the one who assassinated Hannah. I think you got it.
I took it.
That's all just you.
I take all the stuff. The puddles.
That's me.
Also, due to the fact that Pulse now is slightly older, he can now cast shields on anyone within 30 feet of you.
Sweet.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I'm still using it myself.
Yeah.
Boots of haste.
Alright.
Did you also have
Dispel
the Serpent's Wrath?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Vipers Wrath, Serpent's Wrath, whatever.
Yeah, but again, I couldn't recall when I...
Stone of Good Luck, that's me. And Gambler's Fortune, that's me too. And the Wind Fans, that's me. Had to Disguise, that's me too.
This seems weird. Something's up. Can we use all these things?
You have the bag of holding.
Am I the only? Don't we have two?
You have to one. Jace has one. You have one.
Ah, okay.
Sky Dancer.
That's Davree.
That's me.
Or the saber force or what?
What's it called? The
Saber lance.
the land saber.
Land saber. Yeah. That's
Oh, didn't you also have the horn of the ancestors?
yes, that's also Davree.
Oh, that's Davree.
I have the whole.
That's the one that can summon barbarians.
Might change
I was actually going
that.
to buy one, but I don't need one then. Perfect.
Horn of the
Okay.
Emerald Warden.
That's mine.
Oh, do they have the... No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, okay, otherwise just say so.
That's you.
That's also me.
How do you have all these magic items? What is
No,
that?
no.
Instant
too dirty.
Fortress. That's
Davree.
What the frick?
Jace has. Who has the alchemy jug?
That's Blake.
That's Blake. Cool. Hammer of,
course,
the Mace.
any silly
That's
items belongs to Blake.
Boots of the Winterlands. That's Jace. Cloak of Protection.
That's Blake.
Enchanted studded leather armor.
That's Blake.
Brush of Shielding.
Blake.
Jesus Christ. Ring of Switching. That's Blake too. Rod of the Pact Keeper. That's Blake.
Nope.
Nope, that
Jace.
is, Jace.
Jace.
Yeah.
Horn of Silent Alarm.
That's Naeris. Guys, did you hear anything?
Touched Kopesh.
That's also Naeris.
Yeah, that's also mine.
Definitely.
Immovable Rod.
Blake.
Wand of Magic Missiles.
That's
That's me!
Eos.
Oh no.
What is that? What's the
Flux Rod.
Blake.
Mounted Banks Deck.
That's yours.
me?
It's you?
No, it's yours.
Mine?
Yeah. It's the.
Oh, the deck of cards. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Wait, what? A deck of cards? A magical deck of cards?
It's essentially where you can draw any suit that you want from the deck.
Wow.
Sending Stone. You had that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't recall. That's Blake.
Blake. Rose Cottage Figurine.
That's Blake.
Shelter's Shield.
That's Davree.
Staff of the Adder.
That's what's his name?
Druid Warlock.
Jace.
Such a chase.
Yeah, his
Again, he-
staff.
Sell some of the shit?
Yeah.
Winter's Vestments. I can only
That's
guess who
Jace.
that is. Standard of the Battle Board.
That's Blake. Sorry, Davree.
Motherfucker, you could
Rind
go
of
for
Acid
this
Resistance.
What?
Rind. Or I think it's a ring of acid resistance.
Yeah, that's Jace.
Did you
Jace.
check the Oh, sorry, about the book again? I just give back to you.
Yeah. And now I'll take a break.
Thank you. How's that?
Yep.
'Cause I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, again, you're free to sell some of all the shit you accumulated.
I am accumulating.
Okay.
I want to say that.
Boots of Haste.
That's like 8 pages of magic stuff I've just handed out
Oh,
there.
that's because this is a economy item.
Yeah,
The Standard of the Battleborn, I thought that did not require attunement.
it is.
It does. Oh.
Yeah.
Then never mind. Okay.
Look at all my notes.
Look at my notes.
Alright, okay.
Please have a card for my
Jesus
Warlock.
Christ.
Oh, nice.
I don't
Oh,
have
look at
that.
all my 5 magic items.
But again, you then spend a lot of money on your getting spells.
That is true. That is very true. Alright. I'm going to the guy. I'm going to the industries guy.
Ruckus Industry.
Yes. Hi.
Oi there. What can I do for you?
Oh no. I cast comprehend language.
Oh, hello.
That's not that I don't have access to, unfortunately, maybe I should write that on my list. Hi. So you know me, right? I don't have to kind of...
Sure do, mister.
I'm the captain of the Skymiller, and we're looking to sort of outfit it for a more complicated mission. And I have a list here of some things that we've talked about, maybe implementing. And I just would like to know. This isn't anything.
Hey, I think it's on another page. You just flip over.
There we go. No. There we go.
I should believe this is in character.
Right, so we're going on a slightly dangerous mission, and I was just wondering. I'm just trying to get your estimation on price and also kind of time to figure this out.
What's up, Mister?
Right. So standard. We already have 2 ballistas installed. We'd like 2 more.
Yeah, that would be well. Depending on how much you're going to acquire, say standard price, probably about 3,000 gold pieces.
How many?
3,000 gold pieces.
3,000. Okay. Okay, for 2.
Yeah.
And for the installation, is ammunition in that package as well?
Yeah, we're going to put it out about 20 bolts.
20 bolts. Okay, very good, very good. Enchantments.
Not really my cup of tea, but I'm trying. Yeah.
We're looking maybe to create an illusion of a cloud around the ship in question. That would be, and if it could be an enchantment that you could turn someone off, that would be particular.
And again, he used the classic like car sales that, ooh, that would cost you. Well, again, we don't really do magic stuff right here, but we have some contractors, so I'm gonna.
So what you're saying is you go somewhere else to get it done. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Absolutely fine. I'll see you around. And I start walking towards the door.
What about the phones?
Yeah, what? Sorry?
What about the ballistas? Do you want them or?
Yeah, well, maybe I was just trying to get an estimation. I'm sort of shopping around a little bit right now. I'm just looking at some of the other.
So, you're free to find any other airship producers in town.
God, I hate monopolies.
Are there any? No.
Not airship producers,
No, okay.
but you can easily find other places to purchase weapons.
That's true.
There is the boom rods, for instance.
Okay. Do you guys sell automatons? Robots?
Yeah, we have some relations with the Sorvakai labs as well, so yeah.
Okay, so it's a big thing. Okay. And how much for one of those? What do they go for?
For it depends on how advanced do you want its capability.
Let's say mid-market.
Okay, so like a servant sort of thing.
I want them intelligent enough to not kill us, but not so intelligent that they gain sentience and try to kill us. You know?
Oh no, that's not what I'm asking, because don't worry, that won't happen. What I'm asking is how advanced tasks do you want them able to
Fighting,
perform?
mostly just fighting. Guard duty, fighting, throwing stuff maybe.
Are we talking about simply operating war machines of war, or we're talking about actually getting into the whole spears and poke? Same one. Well, the cheapest version probably you can get for 1,500.
Okay, good to know. In terms of, do you sell any kind of specialized ammunition for your weaponry here?
Actually, I'll probably point you towards the boom rods. They are more that sort of feel.
Boom rods.
That's correct.
Okay. And you guys don't enchant stuff, is that what you said?
Not real. Again, we have contracts and so forth, but as you mentioned yourself, maybe it would be cheaper for you to find other.
Okay, very good. That's not really. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll get the ballista right now. You know where our ship is parked.
The Sorvakai industry is essentially located just near the church, so you just point like.
Yeah, you can just install them on the 2 empty slots.
And he looks towards like, wait, is that a bloody tree growing out of that ship?
No, don't worry about it. Wait, wouldn't it really be better just to exchange the mast for a tree?
Yeah, that's what you have done.
Oh, okay. Because you don't use the mast for anything.
No?
It doesn't actually have any practical effect. It's just
fancy.
It's just fancy. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can just go ahead and install them, and I pay them out of the.
So yeah, again, you have the bag of bones, so like.
So, but I get the discount still, right? So it's 27. Så giver du smide 2700 fra kontoen der.
Ja.
Ellers skal jeg bare skrive det hele ned, og så trækker det bare ud, når du
jeg gør det vigtigt.
næste gang. Jeg sagde 720 før, det er rigtigt?
2.700.
Jamen før var det 720.
Ja, trækker jeg også ud af den der konto, så det er ganske fint.
How much did I pay for my dress?
For dress, seeing as Julian just had a marvelous time posing as you, it's only going to be 5 gold pieces. He gave you like 80% discount or something like that.
Oh shit, okay.
Wow.
For instance, when Eos purchased his aviator suit, he came out with like 10 gold pieces, but that's also because it served as armor.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How much did you get for it?
5.
Oh.
For like a proper cocktail dress.
Low cut skin tight.
But you didn't want to show your back.
No.
Okay.
Nice one.
Yeah, right.
So what are we working with time-wise? I mean, I guess we can't just...
Again, you have enough time to do whatever you want to do before. Again.
I mean, there's a million things we could start doing, right?
Yeah.
+2 shields and a rare item.
What? And you'll probably go down to the Temper Steel.
Yeah, I'm assuming I haven't left yet.
No, again, the Temper Steel is another stored in the Exalted Emporium.
Oh.
But again, that will be, well, we're pretty decent. So that's only going to be, I'm going to say 700 gold pieces.
Okay. Is shelter shield that's not plus anything shield, right?
No, you could have it enchanted. I'm going to say that's probably going to cost you 1,000 gold pieces to have to +2.
Okay, then I'll do that instead.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
Again, you don't need to attune to it to get the +2 bonus. It's just all the other abilities.
Oh, okay, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
So 1,000 gold, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, look at the airman, miss. Look at that fine shield we just made there.
Actually, Father, we didn't make it as much as we just enchanted.
Oh, fuck off.
So you're saying that my shield bonus, my AC with my shield is now 2 higher than it was before?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you are up in like 25.
25.
That is
Den er
ridiculous.
bedre end den anden. Den er +2, den anden er +6.
Ja, jeg tænker.
Okay.
Det ved jeg ikke, om jeg skal beholde den gamle, eller skal jeg tage den her? Det er det eneste, tror jeg, det eneste forskel.
Jamen, we can take the new one. Okay.
Okay. The Constitution check er lidt lavere, så det udligner sig måske.
Ja.
You shield the ball.
Different damage as well. This is just a different item! 3d6, 2d10.
How long does tuning take again?
What?
How long does the tuning take again?
Narratively, about half an hour to an hour.
A short rest.
Yeah.
Great.
Altså, det har også noget fedt ud af, The Empress is the Witch Queen.
I'm a man!
Is this a game that we find out that the Empress is Sauron?
No, it's this episode where we learned that the Empress is actually Aurora. That's why they had never been in the same room before.
I am rich!
Oh, does anybody else need clothes before we go to this thing?
Like, looks down at his leather snake skin pants, like, nah, I'm fine.
Alright, Naeris, you wanna come?
Where?
To the clothes place?
I already have a fancy dress.
You don't wanna upgrade, you don't wanna...
What about this?
It's on me.
But why would I want to
It's on me.
upgrade it? But I already have one.
But like, you don't want another one. Come on, it's on me. I'll buy it.
And just like, maybe I should go along as well. I have
Oh,
no...
shut up, Chase.
Fine.
Too much to name this.
Woo! Adventure for Naeris
And as previously, when you enter Lord Bennon's choice, you see yourself for ES meets ES.
Disconcerting. I hate it.
My most valuable customer.
Am I?
Again, you spent a lot of money last time you were in there.
Well,
So, darling, what do we need today?
Well, okay. So my friend and I are going to this sort of quite sort of upper class.
All right, no fur girl. Yeah.
Huh?
Last time you suggested fur for Naeris and she was like, no.
Oh, I see. We just like something appropriate for. But we so what's fashionable right now? What's in? I guess we'll do that.
Okay. What sort of arrangement are we talking about? Are we talking low class, high class?
Well, high class is
High class.
Sorry, it's a private,
But subtle.
sure. It's a private meeting with the Empress herself. So whatever is appropriate for the
Darling,
courts.
you are spoiled.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's start it up, and we have this montage where we're like, no. And
Thanks.
This seems fine.
and again, at some point you find like, yeah, that's fine.
This,
A black symbol always
Yeah,
suits.
whatever it's in right now. It has a frilly collar. Maybe I don't give a fuck anymore. I've been to hell. I've been living in hell for months. This all seems really silly now. Naeris, what are you getting?
I would assume that it would be something that just looks remarkably similar to the one I already have.
Again,
because I know that worked.
again, yeah, also because it's still a green dress, and nobody but you can tell the difference because, like, no, this one was like this moss, but this one is like that moss. And Lord Bennon's like, again, he's probably also the only one who's like can tell the difference. Like, yeah, this suits more. You like your eyes just popped on.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Are we getting a new dress? Can we just colour the one that we already have? Can we just re-dye it?
You're the one who suggested I should get a new one.
God, you changed.
Nice. Okay, fine, whatever. How much is it?
That's gonna be well, let's say for you 8 gold pieces, for the lovely customer over there. Let's say 5 gold pieces. I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
I just had a lovely customer previously. It was
So
marvelous.
13.
Yeah.
Alright, pleasure doing business with you. Thank you so much for the request. Bye.
But
Alright, let's go. Are we meeting up with the others? Or?
and you see Jace also gets in when he gets back out. It's just simple clothes, like a black dress robe for official occasions.
It's not blue and white. That would be silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Blake, he just hammered off the whole snake skins, but it's just more.
Snake suit.
Again, it's just colorful. It like pops in your eye, like, oh god! It almost takes all the attention away from his ugly face, but not quite. And Davree is already set and ready. Yeah, so you visit the Empress. Thanks for listening. The intro music was by Fischer, whereas the outro music was by Martin Kerr. The other pieces which are mentioned in the description down below were by Kevin MacLeod. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we hope to see you again in Doraken.